Hey, Wedgwood family, Dale Braswell here, giving you a little bit of an update as we reflect back from Easter Sunday and as we look ahead into this next new week. I want to say thank you again for all of you that were able to join us online for our worship service, and we're able to be a part of the different videos that were put out over the week. We've heard so much great feedback from so many of you about how those videos either made you laugh or made you think, or hopefully an encouragement to your faith. And I was also so encouraged to see so many of you gathering and posting pictures on your social media of just your Zoom calls or time together with your family over this Easter weekend. And my prayer is that this week that we just came out of was helpful in growing you in your faith and growing you closer in your relationship with Jesus. But obviously, Easter weekend wasn't what we had hoped it would be maybe as we came into this year. Obviously, we weren't able to gather together publicly. And I know for many of us, there was a little bit of sadness mixed in with our joy over this last weekend. And I just want to say once again, I think that's good. I think that's okay. And to know that we are going to be able to meet together again here sometime, we hope, in the next few weeks. But in light of that, I would also say this, that as we get ready to, or as we look forward to that day in which we are going to be able to gather again publicly, my encouragement would be for us to not just go back to business as usual, to not just simply go back into our normal habits and routines, but to allow this time that we've been apart for God to teach us and to shape us and to grow us, so that whenever we are afforded the opportunity to gather together again, that we not take it for granted, which I think is so easy. I know at least for me and for many of us in our Western church culture, it's easy to take for granted something that's just always there. And so many of us have been reminded of how much we appreciate the opportunity to gather publicly and corporately to worship Jesus Christ. And so let us, as we are on this break from being able to do that, be mindful of what God may be trying to teach us and say to us throughout this season and throughout this time. And then as we gather together and are given that opportunity to do so, let us do so with a renewed devotion and commitment like what we see Luke described there in Acts chapter 2. And I also want to say a huge thank you to our church family. We've had many people that are doing all kinds of behind-the-scenes service, taking care of needs, encouraging each other, reaching out, praying for each other, looking for different and unique ways to serve one another. And thank you to all of you who are working so hard behind the scenes to be the church to our community. And also thank you to all of you who are supporting the ministry of Wedgwood still financially. These last few weeks, obviously, there was a lot of question marks as to what financially our giving would look like, and I'm so encouraged by the faithfulness of so many people to support the work and the ministry here of Wedgwood. Now, as we look ahead into the end of April, into the beginning of May, we also, as many of you saw on Easter Sunday, we have a renovation coming up very, very soon. And so that is still on track to begin at the end of May. And once it does, we have some, as you probably got to see on Sunday, some incredible renderings of what that remodel is going to look like. And so I wanted to very quickly highlight just a few of the things that you hopefully noticed in the remodel renderings that we were able to put on our video for Easter Sunday, and will also be online this afternoon as well. One of the things you'll probably notice in the remodel is now we're going to have a center aisle. Instead of kind of a half center aisle, we'll have a full center aisle. Our seating is now going to be divided on the lower bowl into 4 different banks. And this will now be theater seating as well. We're not going to have the traditional pews. We're going to move to a more comfortable theater seating once the remodel is finished. You'll also probably notice that the stage is going to look a lot different. The stage will be a little bit bigger. You'll also notice that instead of 2 side screens for our video and projections, that we're going to have one large center screen, an LED wall. Now, the good news is this wall is able to go up and down. It's going to be on some hydraulics that will allow it to move up and down, and behind that will be our baptistry. So anytime we have a baptism, the screen will be able to go up. Anytime we're just in a normal worship setting, the screen will be able to come down. And then as you look up, you'll probably notice that we're going to have some speakers and lighting that will be hanging from the ceiling. And you'll notice that the ceiling looks like it's dropped down quite a bit. We're going to be using some acoustic tiles to help create a lower and ceiling sense. And it's also going to help a lot with just the overall sound in the sanctuary. Now, all of these changes is more than just cosmetic. It really will help with all of our sight lines, with the video, with the audio, and just the overall experience in our sanctuary. So we're so excited about what these new upgrades are going to afford us in our worship gathering here. And then finally, I also want to remind you that we have a church family meeting coming up very, very soon on April 26th. And so we've decided that because we're still all in a shelter-in-place mode, that we're going to do this via one big Zoom call. And so we're going to have our church family meeting online via Zoom. We will be emailing out the link for that and the directions of how to get online. All of that will be coming to you here in the days ahead. But just go ahead and mark your calendars now for Sunday night, April 26th at 6 o'clock. It'll be a potluck in the sense of you'll have to eat whatever is at your house and then jump on Zoom and join us. And so we are looking forward to being able to talk with you, interact. We'll have updates from the staff. We'll have updates on the renovation. And then we're going to have a significant amount of time for just question and answer, whatever questions you may have about the ministry of Wedgwood and what's going on and what the future looks like. All of that will be on this presentation as well. So we look forward to seeing you online here in the next couple of weeks. So know that we're praying for you, continue to be praying for each other, and I look forward to being able to be with you in person in the weeks ahead.